Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas with his inspirational morning talk. Man, I had to get out on the road a little early this morning, so I just had to pull over here. I can get this word out, Nothing don't stop me from getting my word out unless I got approval to get a day off, and I didn't get the approval this morning, so just got to pull over in a safe spot and get this word out. But this morning here, what I want to talk about, man, well, first time listeners, I'm on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:45 a.m. Central Time. That's our time here in Houston. Hope everyone had a great weekend and ready to take on this week. I hope this word reached the people it need to reach. Osmond Smith, good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? How are you doing? Yeah, so what I want to talk about today, it's about bribes and taking bribes, right? And you must consider, if before you offer someone a bribe or before you accept a bribe, consider. Terry Pilgrim, good morning. How are you doing? How are you doing? Jillian Vixis, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? So yes, we're talking about bribes, right? And a lot of us grew up in societies where taking bribes were a normal thing, right? And so I want people to consider the effects, what they're doing when they're taking a bribe. Because of a bribe here, in this story that I'm going to go over here, it caused a lot of people to miss the destinies. A lot of people can miss the destinies because of this bribe here, right? And it can make a lot of people cannot answer this question. And they say, everyone got to answer this question. Who do you say I am? This ties all into the Easter message. Who do you say I am? Right? Remember, who do you say I am? We all got to answer the question. And because of this bribe here, a lot of people can get the question wrong and don't know who Jesus is properly, right? So let's go. This is Matthew 28, 1 through 15. Matthew 28, 1 through 15, we're going to look at this morning. This is the resurrection, right? This is the resurrection when Jesus was already dead in the tomb. We're picking it up from there, right? When he that's the Sunday morning when he rise again. This will happen. So let's look at this here. To Matthew 28, 1 through 15. Early on Sunday morning, as the new day was dawning, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went out to visit the tomb. This is from the NLT translation, New Living Translation, right? Suddenly there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord came down from heaven, rolled aside the stone, and sat on it. His face shone like lightning, and his clothing was as white as snow. The people who was guarding this tomb, Jesus' tomb, the guards shook with fear when they saw him, and they fell into a dead faint. So these guards saw when Jesus get up and passed them, and they said, his face showed. When these angels come, they witness this whole thing. The angels come, move away this stone. His face shone like lightning, his clothing was white as snow. So they witnessed this stuff. They witnessed Jesus get up out to the tomb. Them angels move it, they get up out to the tomb, and the man just walk right past them. They fell into a dead faint. They get so afraid that they was just frozen when they seen all of this, right? Just imagine you seeing, you put the dead man in there, you guarding a tomb, and next thing you know, some people come, move this stuff, and this dead man get up and walk right past you. Right? So they were frozen with fear, right? I want to remember that. Then the angel spoke to the woman. Don't be afraid, he said. I know you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He isn't here. He is risen from the dead, just as he said he said would happen. Come see where his body was lying, and now go quickly and tell his disciples that he has risen from the dead, and he is going ahead of you to Galilee. You will see him there. Remember what I have told you. The women ran quickly from the tomb. They were very frightened, but also filled with great joy, and they rushed to give the disciples the angel's message. And as they went, Jesus met them and greeted them, and they ran to him, grasped his feet, and worshiped him. Then Jesus said to them, don't be afraid. Go tell my brothers to leave for Galilee, and they will see me there, right? So all that happened, he raised, he meet them, he talk to them, he tell them what to do. But now the part I really want to focus on here, remember these guards saw him, right? Remember these guards is the only one who witnessed the whole deal. These how much ever guards they were, they witnessed the whole deal, and they get paralyzed with fear after they see what go on. This dead man get up and walk out, right? So they going to give a report to their bosses now, right? This is Matthew 28. Now we are on Matthew 28:11. As the women were on their way, some of the guards went into the city and told the leading priests what had happened. So these guards said, I got to go and report this. They're going to tell the priests, the leading priests, what had happened. A meeting with the elders was called. A meeting with the elders was called, and they decided to give the soldiers a large bribe, or some other translations say large sums of money. They decided, look, we can't let this news get out about this dead man get up and walk out. We saying he's the Son of God. We never see this happen yet, and this man probably is the Son of God. He got to be. These men here, the way how they coming and telling us, we know they're lying. We could see the fear and everything in their face. We know they're lying. So what we got to do? Let's call a meeting and decide how we can handle this. So a meeting with the elders was called, and decided to give the soldiers a large bribe. They told the soldiers, you must say Jesus' disciples came during the night while we were sleeping, and they stole his body. So they're telling them, bro, we can give you some money. Go away. And if people ask you what happened, just tell them the disciples come and take the body. This man didn't get up and walk out. The disciples came and take his body. If the governor hears about it, we will stand up for you so you won't get into trouble. So if the governor hear about this, we can back you up. We're going to lie for you, bro. We're going to lie for you guys. If the governor hear about this, we can back you up. We're going to lie for you so you won't get into trouble. So the guards accepted the bribe and said what they were told to say. Their story spread widely among the Jews. You hear? Their story spread widely among the Jews, and they still tell it today. So guys, the only people who witnessed the whole deal was these guards. They witnessed the whole deal. They witnessed the angels move this stone. They witnessed this dead man come out of the tomb, walk past them to see how he looked. They get a good glimpse of everything. They get paralyzed with fear when they see it, as you know, any normal person would. But they accepted a bribe not to tell the story what they saw, to tell a lie. Right? To tell a lie. That's what I'm saying. Before you take a bribe, you got to consider, what damage am I doing to myself, number one? What damage am I doing to my company? What damage am I doing to my country? Depends on the position you're holding. What damage am I doing to other people? Depends on those positions we're holding. What damage I'm doing to my family? What damage I'm doing to my community before you take the bribe? Now, these guards took this bribe. Maybe they needed the money. Maybe they just know if they don't take this bribe, what is priest going to do to them? They might be the next one being hanged like Jesus. For whatever reason, Christine Cato, good morning, good morning. For whatever reason, they take this bribe. But this bribe is a serious bribe. You witness this thing. Now, you could make a lot of people believers. You could make a lot of people answer this question right. Remember, let's go back to Matthew 16, 13 through 20. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, who do people say the Son of Man is? They replied, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. So just imagine these people here thinking that Jesus was a prophet. He was still alive at this point. He was just a good prophet, right? Now, when he died and he said he's going to be raised again, they didn't take him serious. But if these soldiers had come with the truth, if these soldiers had come and tell the truth and say, yeah, you know, this man did what he said he's going to do, we saw him get up and walk out to there. Now, these people here might have changed the view on him. and now accept and believe that he is the Son of God and get this question right. And then what? And then after they said what these people say, Jesus asked his disciples, "But who do you say I am?" Then Peter said, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by man." I tell you, we got to get this right. So now they said, as they said here, so the guards accepted the bribe and said they were, and what they were told to say. Their stories spread widely among the Jews, and they're still saying it today. So a lot of people believe this lie. A lot of people believe this lie from the bribe these guys accepted, and their future is not going to look so bright. Because when they be asked this question, who do you say I am? They can still holding on that Jesus was just a great prophet. And these guys had information to change the whole religion, but they accepted a bribe and tell a lie, and they said a story is still circulated up to today that the disciples took Jesus' body out of the tomb and that he didn't raise, as he said, he would raise. Michelle, good morning, good morning. So, guys, so I'm saying, before you take a bribe, consider the damage you can do to others, yourself, your community, your country, your church, your neighborhood, whatever the position you hold, and whatever you're responsible for. Consider the damage you're going to do if you take a bribe to either withhold information. Just imagine you're a witness, like you witness a situation, you witness a murder, you witness a theft, you witness something happen, and you be paid off not to share your testimony. Consider the damage you're doing to the people who are waiting for justice. Consider the damage you're doing for the people who are waiting to get the breakthrough for this information. Consider it. I see people who hold big government office position in government offices, responsible for the stuff coming into a country, the quality of the product coming into a country, or whatever the case may be. A whole country responsible for the product, the quality, and then you might take a bribe to pass something that's below the quality. Consider the damage you're doing. You might be a juror. I hear people buy jurors and all of that before, pay off the juror to give a particular verdict. Consider the damage you're doing to the people who are waiting for justice in the whole justice system. So I'm saying these soldiers here, I can go over this little piece here. These soldiers, after witnessing, the only people that witnessed when Jesus walked out of the tomb had information, forgive us, that could change millions of people's lives. Millions of people's lives. They saw Jesus walk out of this grave. They saw it. They shook with fear. The guards shook with fear when they saw him, and they fell into a dead faint. They freeze with fear, which is a understandable reaction to something like this. But here what happened: as the women were on their way, some of the guards went into the city and told the leading priests what had happened. A meeting with the elders was called, and they decided to give the soldiers a large bribe. They decide to give the soldiers a large bribe. They say everyone got a price, right? They give them a lot of money. These soldiers like, what? We could be rich men here. But they didn't consider the damage they're doing. They told the soldiers, you must say Jesus' disciples came during the night while we were sleeping and stole his body. Don't tell people the truth that this man get up and walk out to the grave. Don't do that. We can pay you a lot of money for you keep that secret. If the governor hears about it, we will stand up for you so you wouldn't get into trouble. If the governor hear about this, we're going to lie for you. Go away, far away. They send them away. Go away, far away, and shut your mouth. Don't say nothing. So the guards accepted the bribe and said what they were told to say. What they were told to say is that Jesus' disciples come and take his body. Their story spread widely among the Jews, and they still tell it today, guys. So I'm saying, guys, be careful, consider, because of this lie and this bribe, a lot of people cannot get the question right, who do you say I am? They can still say Jesus is a good prophet and all of that, and they're going to miss the boat of going to heaven. Because if you don't get a question right and you don't believe that he's the Messiah, tying back to Alma Easter message, right? You could go back and listen to those. But if you don't believe he's the Messiah, you still got your sin problem to deal with. Your sin problem is not taken care of, what he died for. And because of this bribe, a lot of people still holding on that he's a good prophet and he's not the Son of God and he didn't raise up from the grave. All right, guys? So I'm going to leave that there. But have a great Monday, and we'll talk again on Wednesday, guys. All right, goodbye.